Hello, 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 everyone. This is your girl, NickyNicole of Divas of the Round Table, and I'm here on Divas of the Round Table Table Talk with Mrs. Terrelle Smith-Bradford. Terrelle has been on Divas of the Round Table podcast twice before, giving advice to our viewing audience on purchasing a home. Not only is Terrelle a phenomenal realtor in the Jacksonville area, placing many homeowners into their dream homes, but she is also a salon owner, a blogger, a wife, mother, sister, friend, and daughter. Terrelle is a special daughter. She's the daughter helping her family navigate through the difficult diagnosis of having a parent with dementia. And that is what we will be discussing today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mrs. Terrelle Smith-Bradford. Thank you, Terrelle.
Thank you for having me, Nicole. I'm honored every time I come on this platform.
Yes, and we love having you on the show. And
Thank you.
one of the things that really pulled at my heartstrings, like me and you have talked about before, was you sharing your mother with all of us and her journey through having dementia, and how you all as a family and you and her relationship as mother and daughter specifically, you're documenting it, you're sharing it with all of us on Facebook who are your friends and followers. So that's why when this show came about, you was the perfect person to have to come on, because you are so open about it.
Yes.
I just want to thank you for that. So let me ask you this. What was life like leading up into the official diagnosis? Was it something that your mother noticed, or was it something that you all as family and friends had noticed in her?
Well, Nicole, I think we both noticed it, but my mother just didn't say anything. I remember I believe it was May, June, somewhere up in there. In 21, we was at my brother's home in Orlando, and I noticed my mother was sit kind of quiet. She was distant somewhat. And I'm a very observant person, and I was looking at her and I was like, something is wrong with mom, but I don't know what it is, because that was just out of character for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I would see her just she would stare off into the distance quite often. And I was like, I wonder what is she thinking about, because my mother is more jovial. She's always getting in the kitchen, what the old school moms do. And by us not seeing my brother as often, she's normally excited. It was just a different her. So she was drinking I remember she was drinking a soda. It was a Coca-Cola, to be exact. And almost like she was forgetting where she was putting it. And I was watching her. Everyone else now was going about their business, just talking. But I was watching her because I knew something was off. And she would sit there and almost as if a little sadness, but almost trying to recollect where she put it. And so I started seeing that. So I would ask my dad, I say, Dad, is something going on with mom? And he was like, what do you mean? And I told him, I said, well, it seems like she's off, like she's forgetting things. And he said, yeah, I've noticed that a few months back that we were driving somewhere and I noticed that she forgot where she was or she didn't recognize where she was. I said, really? Well, why didn't you say anything? So he said, I didn't think anything of it. So it was
Oh,
symptoms there, right?
okay.
What I wish we would have done was caught that early. But
Okay.
there were symptoms there. But we didn't catch it until after my sister, the trauma from that escalated more. I mean, it progressed quickly after that. So by that time, she was really almost like in midway. Dementia has levels to it.
Okay.
So she was almost to like a level 4
Mm-hmm.
per se in the middle of dementia.
Okay.
But if we would have caught it early, there is medicine that can slow it down. It can't stop it, but it will slow it down. But we
Okay.
just didn't catch it early enough because, like many families, we have brushed it off. Oh, it's
Yeah.
nothing. It's nothing. And I really wish we would have been proactive in the
Yes.
beginning.
And I think too, a lot of people I see we put a lot of stuff on old age. Oh, they just getting
Yes.
older.
Yes.
And I think people need to get the correct picture of what
Correct.
healthy,
Mm-hmm.
physically, cognitively
Mm-hmm.
healthy older looks like. I think we've diluted
Yes.
aging and the true beauty of
Correct.
aging. We've
Correct.
diluted it so much to where now we just say everything, oh, they're just getting older. They're just getting older.
Mhm.
But when you
Mhm.
find in some of these other countries to where the
Mhm.
food is better, the air is
Yes.
better, people walk more because they walk to the
Yes.
market, the food
Yes.
is fresher and stuff like that. You will find that aging is different than what we
Mhm.
think it is.
You're
And
right.
yeah, so that's one of those things. Well, let me ask you this with your mom, like you said, her and your father was driving in the car.
Mhm.
So before that, it was never a time to where your mother drove. Did she drive herself?
Mhm. Yes,
So
my
it was
mother
never,
had a full life.
so she
We
never had,
never
because I
noticed
see those
it.
little Amber Alert things up on the highway sometimes. She had never had any of
Right.
those, like driving in
Never.
places or, oh,
Never.
wow. Oh,
It just
wow.
came like an onset like that. She
Hmm.
never gave any signs. My mother was driving, going to get her nails done, going shopping. I mean, everything. Retired. And so she was just living life, decorating her home. I mean,
Hmm.
Nicole, I would have never saw this coming. I would have
Yes.
never saw this coming. It's almost like a light switch was flipped.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, though, that traumatic experiences can
Hmm.
really progress this disease. And I believe that's what happened to her. It's a difference. I want to make this clear. It's a difference with having some brain fog and onset dementia.
Yes.
A brain fog, dealing with hormonal issues, some life events, things of that nature. But dementia is way more serious because that's a deterioration of the brain.
Hmm.
So it's more of a neurological disease per se.
Okay. So, can you explain to the audience, for those who may not know the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's?
Mhm. Well, I'll say this, not all dementia patients will develop Alzheimer's, but Alzheimer's have dementia. They're
Okay.
two different but similar, right? Because with
Okay.
Alzheimer's, you have different types of dementia in Alzheimer's. Dementia is just like the onset until you get in full blown memory loss, which turns into Alzheimer's.
Okay.
So
Okay.
dementia, you will still have some of your cognitive behavior, but it's limited. When you enter into Alzheimer's, you're absent of all of that.
Okay. So do
So
you
that's
all
the
have,
difference.
okay. So do you all have some of those like days to where your mom is just, she's she's alert, she's aware, she knows what's going on. Have you had those roller coaster days with your mom?
Oh my goodness. Yes. In the beginning, my mother right now is in home hospice, and she's in her latter stages of dementia. When the onset of it came, yes, it was sundowning, where around about 5 o'clock, she would start getting very agitated, right? And having anxiety. And it was she would just act out, very combative, right? So
Hmm.
we was not prepared for that part. We would say, no, calm down. We're trying to calm her. But only calm her the way we knew how to calm her, right? We yell like, sit down, quit saying that. But the more you do that, the more agitated they get.
Okay.
So the sundowning came, and then we just started seeing changes in her appetite. We started seeing changes, definitely cognitive. That it definitely was there. Um, but the more the disease progressed, she will have some great days where she just laughing and playing, because we have to remember, Nicole, they revert back to like toddlers. So they're reverting
Yes.
back to children. So some children have great days and some children have bad days. Some children off on their sleep patterns. Some children don't want to eat and they throw the tantrums. That is
Yes.
just how dementia patients are. So my mom some days will be great, have more energy than you and I put together. And then
Mhm.
some days she wakes up agitated and she just in a state of agitation. And there is
Okay.
medicine for that. But the medicine they give her, I just didn't like the side effects of it. It makes them almost like a zombie. So
Oh.
we try more natural things, right?
Hmm.
Um, but we try to take her for walks, right? Sitting out on water, just talking to her, just singing songs with her, playing music, going down memory lane, because they can remember old things, but it's nothing new that they can remember. No short term memory. It's always
Okay.
long term. They can remember things back in their childhood, people that may no longer be here anymore. They will talk about them frequently, right?
Hmm.
Um, and no, then now, leading up to now that sundown is almost constant throughout the day.
Okay.
So it's required a lot more supervision now in
Mhm.
this latter stage, because it does get worse. I'm not gonna, if anyone's dealing with that, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm gonna be honest, it gets worse. And that's why it's very imperative that you have a plan together as a family, that
Yes.
you've sat down with your family and you all have mapped out a plan for how this will go, and then you will have to face reality in this disease. That's one thing it's going to make you do, is face reality, right?
Yes.
Yes, we are praying family, we believers, but we also see what's happening, and we can't have our heads in the clouds as if it's not in front of us, right? So we
Yes.
to really prepare for the end, because that's they're wasting, honestly.
Hmm.
They're
Yes.
wasting away. And it's almost like you're preparing for a funeral every day. It's not
Every
preparing
day.
for a funeral one time and then, okay, now you have time to heal after it. But this is
Mhm.
slowly seeing your loved one waste away.
Okay. Because I know when me and you previously talked, you shared
Yeah.
with me that your mother's mother also
Yes.
suffered from
My
dementia.
mother's mother. Yes, my
Yeah.
mother's mother had it. Out of 11 kids, no one else got it but my mom.
Hmm.
And of course there are scans and everything which we've done, and they don't foresee that. Of course, no one knows the future, but as of right now, I'm fine. My brother's fine.
Hmm.
My sister, of course, no longer here, but it skipped everyone and went to my mom. She's a
Yeah.
baby of everyone. And so that was like very ironic. No one in our
Mhm.
family has that. So it kind of caught everyone off guard, to be honest.
Okay. You're
So,
I'm
oh
back.
no, you're fine. You're fine.
So let me ask you this. With you saying your mom had her mother with dementia.
Mm-hmm.
Did your When your mom got that diagnosis, did she like, I know, like in the movies and stuff, you see people write
Mm-hmm.
letters and things of that nature. Did she do
Mm-hmm.
anything because she knew what was coming down the road? Did she do anything like that with you
No.
all?
No, my mother was a very almost private person. She always put the best on the outside. So if
Okay.
anything she wanted to say or anything hurting her, she would not say it. Now she did sit me down and tell me this is where all the important information is. If anything happened, like she had that talk, but never a talk regarding her diagnosis.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest, Nicole. In the Black families, it's certain topics that are taboo, and we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about death in the Black family because it's just something like, oh no, it's a fear factor, right?
Hmm.
But the truth is, we all gonna have to leave this earth one day, right? So these
Yeah.
are discussions that we should be having, especially if we have elderly parents, right? We
Right.
should get affairs in order for our elderly parents, and this caused us to do that because we was that family that we didn't want to talk about that. We didn't want
Yeah.
to sit and talk about that because we never think our happen to our parents. We always want them to be strong and be here, but the truth of the matter is that situation was like just dropped in front of us, and we had no um, but and to deal with. So now my father and I'm both their caregiver, and they've been married 55 years. And I'm the one that have to make sure all the affairs in order. I have to keep my dad lifted. He keeps me lifted. My niece, my husband plays such an important role in all of this. So we all bind together as a family because this
Hmm.
disease is horrible. It takes a toll on you mentally, physically, and spiritually.
What if some of the things like your father has shared with you, being the husband, losing his
Hmm.
spouse to this dreaded disease? What is some of the things, if you don't mind sharing, that your father has shared with you and your brother about his feelings going through this
Hmm.
process?
Um, my father always was just a strong man. Like we never saw emotions from my dad. He
Hmm.
always was strong. Um, but during this process, I literally saw my father shed tears. I've seen him how he stares at my mom during this time. Because having a lifelong partner like that and a best friend that you've been with and y'all did everything together to see them literally waste away,
Yeah.
I don't even think that can be put into words. But
Mm.
I saw a depression come on my father. um, I saw some sadness come on him, some hurt, because he couldn't stop it. It's almost like I have
Yes.
no control over it. But
Right.
I saw how he would continually still try to date her. Let's listen to music, how they used to
Mhm.
sit and listen to music, and he would still try to do those things. And just to see how my mother still smile, like right now, my mother don't want to go anywhere without him. If
Okay.
she doesn't remember anything else, she wants her father, her husband, right there,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So it was sad. It was sad. I can't tell you the many nights I cried. But all of that made me who I am today. It made me very strong of who I am today, right?
Hmm.
Because I had to encourage my father, I had to take care of my mother and encourage myself. Thank God that my husband was encouraging me,
Yes.
right, in the process, and now we encourage my niece. So it's just it's like so many moving parts that has
Yes.
happened in the last few years.
Yes. Because that's what I said, I shared with you before. I said your husband came in right on time, and like
Yes.
we always say, you know, he may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on
Amen.
time.
That's
And
right.
it was
Right on
like,
time. God knew.
yeah, you didn't know what was coming down the
Mm-mm.
line, but God knew.
Mm-mm.
and sent you that man.
Listen, if we knew what was in store, we probably wouldn't mature the way that we need to because we're trying to
We'll
run
mess it up.
away.
We'll
Yeah.
mess it up.
God knew, you're right. God knew that I was going to need support. He knew
Yes.
that. And by my husband have lost his mother, he lost his
Mm-hmm.
mother in 20. So he knows what I'm going through. And he saw
Yes.
his mother pass away going through changes. So God knew who to send me, when to send me what I needed, and why to send me what I needed. And he
Yes.
was able to pray me through, encourage me through. It was nice. He would just hold me and let me cry, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes the weight got so heavy just to see my mom just deteriorate. You can see a before picture and an after picture. And you can see how this disease has literally caused her to look like two different people.
People.
You know,
Yes.
same spirit, but two
Yes.
different people. And
Yes.
so just to see that in front of your eyes is nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it will strengthen your prayer life, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, because that's one of the things I shared with you that you had made a post and you actually tagged your
Hmm.
mother in it. So I was able
Yes,
to go to her Facebook page
yes.
and seeing the progression of the
Hmm.
disease and how it changes you,
Yes,
not only in your cognitive functioning, but
right.
physically.
Physically, yes.
Because, like I told you, I said, girl, your mama used to put it on, child. I see that you
Yes,
got the
girl.
sense of
Jeanette
style.
was classy and
Yes,
intelligent, and my mother was the epitome of my shero. She went back
yes.
to school in her 50s, got 3 degrees. I mean, just very, very intelligent, taught me to be the woman that I am today. And I'm just thankful that I still have time to spend with her.
Mm-hmm,
Um, but what helps me a lot is to say, this is not my mother per se, right?
mm-hmm.
I lost my mother like, let me see, 4 years ago. This is
Yes,
a shell of my mother.
yes.
So I keep the memories of who she was, right? I know
Mm-hmm,
now I'm just taking care of who she is now, but my real mother, that's how I have to tell myself, was 4 years ago.
yes. I used to say that same thing. My grandmother had a brainstem stroke
Mm.
in 94, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, but she lived all the way up to 98.
Oh,
And I tell
wow.
people, I say, my grandmother died 4 years ago, the
Yes.
person that I knew.
Right.
So I had already grieved my grandmother.
Yes.
The shell was
Yes.
there, you
That's
know?
that's me. That's exactly the great words. We've grieved her. We've
Yes,
grieved her. So that makes it a lot more easier now to take care of her because I
yes.
grieved her. I mean, really, my father really grieved her. My brother really grieved her. We all really grieved her. So it makes it a lot better. And by my daughter being a nurse, she gives me a lot of insight.
Mm-hmm,
So, um, it's just it requires a lot of patience. Let me say that it requires a lot of patience. And when you say
yeah,
your grandmother passed away from a brainstem stroke, that's exactly what my sister passed away from, a
okay.
brainstem stroke.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah. She had it and she lived, she actually lived 4 years after the brainstem stroke,
Oh
but it made her,
wow.
she wasn't able to talk. She wasn't able to
Yep.
feed
Right.
herself. She
Correct.
can eat, but they had to feed her. She
Yes.
actually had a polyp in her colon,
Mm-hmm.
and when she went in the hospital for that, her immune system was so weak, and she caught a virus in the hospital, and that's what killed
Okay.
her. But
Right.
I had already mourned my grandmother, the woman who
Yes.
talked to me, the
Mm-hmm.
person I knew,
Mm-hmm.
and joked
Mm-hmm.
with. So because that
Right.
person that was left after the brainstem stroke was not my
Correct.
grandmother.
Correct. Correct.
So
So
I
that's
can.
why I share these moments, Nicole. Like I share these moments with everyone. Um,
Mhm.
I want everyone to see the raw part of it, the real part of it. and not some, okay, you see it, but you don't see what happens with it. So I like everyone to see that raw part of it.
Uh-huh. I,
And then I will say this, if you are out there, anyone out there dealing with this disease with any loved one, I will say this. If you are presented with a home hospice, don't think that that's end all be all at the moment. You're going to get the care you need. You're going to get the support you need. And I would definitely suggest it. It's not the hospice like we think it is. Like, oh, they're just going to go in there 2 weeks later. I mean, we never know, but I will say it gives you support. So if that is an option of you, if the doctor recommend that, don't think that, oh, that means she's going tomorrow. It does give you support. Hospice is not like the hospice used to be.
yes. Yeah, hospice to me is a great asset. You know,
Right.
it it works along with the family being supportive
Hmm.
as well. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's really to support you all
Correct.
in this
Correct.
process.
Yes,
You
it
know.
does. Because even the caregivers need respite care, and you're
Hmm.
able to get that. They will come in and they have a CNA come in and wipe them down, do their hair. I mean, it's so beneficial, especially if you just don't have the time to sit home to caregive all day. It's very
Hmm.
beneficial.
Okay.
So I
So
would
let me ask you
recommend
this.
it. Mhm.
What are some of the things that you're doing to make sure that you're okay?
Actually, I do unplug. I do. I make it a habit now. I did it before, but I saw my physical body changing. I saw my cognitive behavior changing. And I
Okay.
knew that I could not be the best caregiver or the daughter or the wife or the friend if I did not take care of myself. So now I'll
Right.
unplug, I'll go sit by the water, I journal, I even go to therapy. And therapy is amazing. That's another thing that we in our culture don't want to do, but I do see that a lot of people now have been more educated on therapy, and a lot more people are starting to go to a therapist. But that helped so much. It helped me. So I'll do things like that. If I want to go shopping or whatever, I just unplug and do some positive things, and then I recharge, and then I'm ready again to now tackle what I need to. But I had to
Oh,
learn how to just unplug.
right. Because that's what I say. You know, with you being there for your mom,
Right.
your
Yes.
dad, your husband, your
Hmm.
daughter, grandbaby on the way, or is it a grandbaby?
Yes.
Grandbaby.
Grandbaby on the way.
You
Yes.
got. You know, we
Yes.
have to. We have to understand that sometimes the cape does have to come off
Oh yes. Even
because,
iron
you know,
wears thin, Nicole.
yes,
So we all
right,
have to do that. Yeah, I don't care how strong you think you are. You're not so strong that you can carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. God
correct.
didn't even design us to do that. So it's no award for being the strongest.
That's right.
It's
That's
not.
right.
You want longevity in life, then you have to do what it takes to have longevity in life. That means you have to take care of your temple, eat better, get some sleep, stress less. So it's some things like that we must do
Hmm.
in order to be effective in this world.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Are you still like getting your mom and doing things with her throughout the day? Because that was one of the things that I know you share on social media.
Hmm.
When you get your mom, y'all go for ice cream and dancing and
Yes.
out for walks.
Yes.
So even now with her being the hospice stage, you
Hmm.
know, in the hospice
Hmm.
facility under hospice care, are
Hmm.
those still some of the things that you can do with her or no?
No, yes. So I still get her with her ice cream. We'll go for a walk. She can't walk as far now,
Hmm.
because as the weight come off, muscle atrophy starts. So she's
Okay.
losing muscle mass.
Mhm.
So she can't walk as far. And her attention span is not as great now. It shifts just like that. So I'll try to play games with her, like color games, like I get Uno cards. What color is this? I still try to exercise the brain.
Right.
um we'll just I pull out pictures. Do you remember who this is? Who is this? Walk around the house and point at things and say, okay, tell me, what is this? So I do little exercises like that. Well, of course, we sit in the backyard, we'll laugh and talk, and you can tell her the same joke over and over and over, and she'll forget you told her that joke and just laugh. So those are special moments for me.
Mhm.
Try to take her to Goodwill, she'll do that. But like I said, her attention span is all over the place to do various things. I would take her riding. I would just laugh, tell jokes. So we start doing little things now because her energy level is not as high anymore.
Okay. Mhm.
So, but I'll just go over there and do little things with her. I'll say, help me clean up. And it's funny because I'll sing the little song from kindergarten, say, clean up, everybody clean.
Everybody
And I'll do
clean up.
that. And
Mhm.
she think that is the best thing, and she laughs. And
Oh
I'm telling
wow.
you, so I'm having some special moments, and I still look at her sometime now when things like that excite her. Tears
Mhm.
sometime will come to my eyes, and I'm like, wow. It just reminds me of the simple things in life that we take for granted.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, those are some of the things that I do with her, and of course, I capture it so you all can see it, because
Yes.
it helps so many people that's going through it, that's suffering silently.
Yes.
So I just was like, I'm an open book. I show what it is because I love her so much till I want to
Uh-huh.
share her with you guys,
Yes.
the good and the bad. But it's also helped us heal. It helped me heal in the process of doing that.
Right. Right. Because like I said, I admire that. I see your journey. I see the struggle. I see, the good days that you film when you put it on. And I'm
Yes.
in awe of it all because, like, when me and you talked prior, I was telling you how it's like so many of these diseases that was, you hear about it with, maybe some
Yes.
celebrity or something like that. Because, like me, you talked about,
Mm-hmm.
I believe two of the Golden Girls suffer from
Yes.
dementia and Alzheimer's. And I was like, so you have given a face and a real person
Yes.
to a title, a disease.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so like just watching that journey, I see that these real people, these are real events that's going on in people's
Right.
lives. And this thing is more
Yes.
common than we know, you know?
Yes. Yes.
And I,
It
I just
is.
I like how you make it your family open and personable, to where we can get the inside without us
Right.
actually at this moment. But God,
Right.
we haven't gone through it ourselves. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm. I do. I do. I have a lot of people that thank me for just helping them because they just didn't know how to cope. And then some say my mother is starting to have some of these symptoms. You're causing me now to go get my mother checked or my father checked or checked. Because they see they're more aware of these symptoms now. Because
Right.
again, we will hear about it, but to physically see it in real time, you
Hmm.
didn't see that much. So I try to use my social media platform for things like that, for real life real life things and just
Yeah.
encouragement. Because in this world, Nicole, with all the things going on, we need it. We need that glimmer of hope somewhere, or just
Right.
a inspiration. A nice, inspiring moment. And I believe that my mother definitely creates that.
Right. Right. I enjoy watching it. So,
Oh,
I
yep.
enjoy everything.
Thank you. I enjoy our conversation.
Okay, Terrell. So let me say this. I just want to thank you again for sharing your mother with all of us, and as a person who has interviewed you a few times and who follow you on Facebook and everything, I just want to personally just say that I will continue to keep you, your mother, and your whole family lifted in prayer as y'all go through this journey. But before we get out of here, I want to know if is there anything that you would like to share with our viewing audience and people who may be going through dementia or Alzheimer's, um, who may have family members and loved ones that's going through this. Any words of encouragement or anything that you will want to share with them?
Yes, first of all, I want to thank you for even having me on this platform. Thank you for allowing my voice to be heard because I know I'm not the only person that is going through this. I just chose to share it.
Yes,
But what I will say is if you are dealing with someone going through this disease, make sure you have a support system. Make sure that you have someone that can speak life back into you because you
right,
matter as well and you need all the strength that you can get. Um, Also, make sure that you develop patience. It's not the loved one that is having these tantrums or the
mhm,
sundowning. It's the disease. So it's not them. So when they say things, and I know we're human, we get frustrated and flustered. But just remember it is the disease. So I would say this and end with this. If you have anything against your parents, make sure you fix it. You only get one set of parents. It doesn't matter who's right and it doesn't matter who's wrong. It matters that you should honor them regardless. And
right,
life is precious. The Bible says life is like a vapor. It is very precious. You can be here and gone today, be here today and gone today. So love on your loved ones.
that's right,
Forgive. Forgive. I will say that forgive. So that's really what I want to say. And again, get that support group. Don't be afraid to go to therapy. Don't be afraid to shed tears. You can't be strong the whole time.
that's
This is
right,
a group effort. You cannot handle this alone.
that's right. That's right. And before I get up out of here, I just want to say too, I want to give a shout out to my co-host Ladybug of Divas of the Round Table podcast. Ladybug's father
Hmm.
also has dementia.
Hmm.
And we have a good friend of ours, Laquita Wright Baker, who
Hmm.
um, hosted us at her spot when we did the Apollo and Athena show.
Hmm.
Her mother too, Miss Audrey,
Oh, wow.
is suffering from dementia. So, you know, I know people personally,
Hmm.
who share the
Right.
same journey that you and your family are
Hmm.
on now. And all
Right.
three of y'all still have y'all parents. It's just
Yes.
that y'all losing them a little bit every day, you know.
Yes.
And my
Yes.
heart goes out to you all because I know as a mother, daughter,
Yes.
grandmother, I love my
Yes.
family so much.
Hmm.
And I can only
Yes.
imagine how it is to
Thank
walk in those
you.
shoes.
Yes. Yes.
All
Thank you
right.
so much, Nicole. I really appreciate you having me on.
All right, Terrell. It's always a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Maybe one day we could come and do a show at that salon and watch you do some hair. We can put it together.
Yes. I know.
All right. All right. I want to thank y'all for tuning
Okay.
in. This has been Divas of the Round Table Table Talk. Y'all be blessed. Have a good night.
Good night.